Dog Gadgets. Live.
Hi there. Oh, there we go. That's better. Hi, I'm Josh from Brown Dog Gadgets.
We got a comment
Oh,
already,
look, Pete.
Josh.
Pete, it's like you've commented. Look
Yeah.
at that wonderful Pete
Pump up
face.
the volume.
So I'm Josh from BrownDogGadgets.com. Today we're going to do something kind of fun. We're going to make ourselves our own DIY speaker. That's right. We're turning this little fun contraption here into an actual speaker using our fun maker tape. And you can do this with a lot of different substances. Wire, for instance, works just fine. A coil of wire. Or even copper foil tape, but we like to use our maker tape because it's way more sturdy than the copper foil and all that fun jazz. So we're going to make this up. We're going to hook it up and make some noise with it. We do have some videos of this up on our YouTube channel already from ages ago. And we have templates and directions and more for this. Let me grab a couple of these, all these printed out resources. We have lots of printed directions and guides and even a little wonderful activity plan if you're a teacher to do this. But it's a pretty simple project. Shouldn't take very long. The hard part is just laying down tape and then attaching it to a audio source. But this should be a fun project. So by the way, you can find these directions and all these resources at browndoggadgets.com. Our maker tape there and on Amazon and most teaching and library catalogs. But if you have any questions, ask us during the live stream because we'll throw it up on the screen and you can talk to us. Otherwise, just sit back, relax, and watch us make a speaker. Ooh, right. Speakers. So yeah, speaker time. So let's go to the overhead view.
Overhead.
So to do this, you're going to need a couple different things. You're going to need a roll of maker tape, which I have off to the side. There we go. Some maker tape, some scissors, a piece of paper, or ideally a template if you're working with kids. This makes life a lot easier having a template. This is the same template as this one here we did on clear paper or clear plastic. And then you're going to need some magnets. Now we're using some, these are like rare earth magnets, not really rare or earthy, but they work pretty well. Stuck to another magnet for a nice base, but you need a nice strong magnet. And you're going to need an audio source of some kind. Now we have two different ways we're going to try this out. We know they both work just on different levels. We're using this wonderfully old first generation iPod Touch, running a really old version of iOS with free music on it, or licensing free music for this video. You're going to need either one, a headphone jack to headphone jack with alligator clips, or even better, if you're using a stereo to pump up the power quite a bit, which is ideally the way to get the best sound out of things, as opposed to the little built-in amplifier in here. This is a really cheapo Sony receiver that we got from Goodwill for like $5-10. Like, it's just old and cruddy. Probably find this on the street corner in many areas.
I've found those, in the trash.
Yeah, just it's like an old 90s one, whatever, but it has a lot of power behind it. And for that, you want to go from a headphone jack to 2 RCA inputs. And then we're using just some speaker wire with some alligator clips on the end for the output. So just a really short piece of speaker wire, which is hard to see, with alligator clips on the end, then we can attach it to there. But there's a couple different ways of doing this, just depending on what you're doing. We're going to try with the stereo system, but we couldn't find our RCA connector this afternoon. I think I took it home. So we're going to alligator clip into one of the audio imports from this, which isn't the best way of doing it. But it'll work, I think, for this situation. So we're going to start building. So we're going to try to put all this aside because there's a lot on the table today, more than usual. And we're going to go. Now, this is a project that Andy, our curriculum writer, has done before. He used to work at a local science museum here in town, and he's done some fun DIY speakery things.
Andy?
Andy.
Andy has a comment here.
That's Andy, our curriculum writer.
He's proud of his fine piece of audio equipment. LOL.
Oh, his I think actually this is his. No, it's not from Goodwill. it's Andy's.
We have so many laying around here. It's hard to tell who.
Yes,
anymore.
all one.
I'll bring some more in.
Anyway, but you don't need that. Most people, this should work just fine as a good demo. It won't be super loud, but you can definitely hear it working by using like an iPod or a phone or a tablet, just something that you can throw power out of that has a little bit of oomph on it. But yeah, a simple stereo system would work just fine. Seriously, garage sale or Goodwill, you'd be good. But anyway, yeah, the basic idea behind this is like any speaker, it's a coil of magnetic of wire with electricity running through it above a magnet, because fun time. Electricity running through a wire creates a magnetic field, and a coil of wire builds that up, which will then interact with the magnetic field on here to vibrate. And so you get that vibration of, in this situation, paper. And a lot of speakers, especially cruddy speakers, it literally is cardboard. Nicer speakers have better, but paper and cardboard have been traditionally the go-to material as a vibrating medium in headsets, speakers, going back since the beginning of speakers. I have a 1930s tube radio in my home because, of course, I do. And it's a big cone of cardboard. It's a cardboard cone. It is no different than some other speakers I have from like the 80s and 90s, which are also, cardboard or something very similar. Just this cheap, flexible, vibrating material. Pete, anything to add on that?
Well, as I understand it, a speaker it creates pressure from electrical signal, which is the opposite of a microphone, which takes pressure and creates an electrical signal, and allows you to sort of record that
Bingo.
instead of output it.
Audio technology is surprisingly simple, and for the basics, the basic parts, hasn't changed much in 100 years plus. Even just like radio, like everything is pretty straightforward. It's very simple. It's just we've had more complicated systems to really store and amplify a signal. Transistors, tubes, an old iPod from from like 10, 15 years ago. It's a storage medium as opposed to having a wax cylinder, which is my favorite form of storage medium.
I have an older iPod here even.
Oh yeah, Pete's got an iPod Classic, as I guess to be called, or like a 5.
I think it's a 60 gig, like maybe a 15
video
or something.
Not to get too far out there, but Pete, you can totally replace the hard drive in here with SD cards now for like $30.
I should do that.
And bump it up to like a terabyte of space.
Wow.
I've watched a few YouTube videos, but enough of my chatting. I think, Pete, do we have a comment as well, it seems?
Our friend Full to Murmur, do you remember? Yeah, we watching last week, I think, or the week before.
Thank you. Coming into us from the YouTubes.
Yeah.
They have a little YouTube symbol on the side now. So
there you go.
Thanks, software update.
Thanks for watching.
So we're going to do this. So it's pretty easy. We're just going to lay down a bunch of tape, and I'm going to do this mostly, and I'm going to probably stop at some point because it's a lot of tape laying. We're going to get to the actual interesting part.
Are you going to do your 90-degree turn on the tape?
Yes, and that's the thing. The big thing to do with this, whether using copper foil, and this is why we like our Maker tape, which is a nylon fabric tape, is you want to do right angle turns every single spot along the way here and keep one unbroken piece. Now, we did try this where we used our Maker tape, which isn't conductive on top and bottom, where we just did a strip, then overlapped, and overlapped, and overlapped, and so on and so forth over and over and over again. And I actually added a whole lot of extra work to measure things out. And overlap things, and making sure we press down nice to make sure it's a good solid connection. It's just cut out the extra work and just do one simple solid line that folds along the edge, and then stops. Typically stops here, or you can keep going. Now, you'll see on this diagram we have the second line right here. Now, this is the funky part, and there's two ways of doing it. You don't want this to make electrical contact with your other lines. This is supposed to be just, this comes off of here. To be honest, it's to connect speakers up to. This is your other point of contact on the end here coming off the side. You could go straight up if you want to, but that's really inconvenient. And you don't want to cut your paper and go through. That would kind of ruin the sound.
Back. You could go through the back.
I don't think it would work as well.
It wouldn't work? All right.
Plus, you still go under. So what we've done is two different ways of doing this. One, we have like there's a wax backing on the back of here, a non-conductive wax backing. What you do is when you get to this point, you just stop sticking it and just leave the backing on here. That's what we actually have on this piece. If you see on the bottom, there's a white strip here. That's just that wax backing, and then it folds around onto this side so we can alligator clip here and alligator clip here. Andy, a curriculum writer, also recommended even just putting a piece of regular tape down, like just clear tape down from here to here, because it's plastic basically, and it's not conductive. That works just fine. Thanks, Pete. Or, a piece of paper would work fine there too. Just a piece of paper that you've cut to go across. Just anything that keeps the tape from making contact.
You need an insulator.
An insulator, yeah, because the back of this tape is conductive, the sticky part. So that makes it really, really annoying to do that. So we're gonna start doing this. I'll just do some right angle turns and show you. Maybe we can speed this along. And Andy, our curriculum writer, was quick to point out, and in one of the videos we posted up on YouTube a while ago, we had a bunch of different versions of this we made, and Andy actually made a few different templates with different shapes and different amounts of rings. Like there's a circle template and a square template here. And we used, I think over there on our other table is like a paper plate we just did this on. And the big thing for kids, if you're doing this in a classroom or at home or whatnot, is trying out different materials, paper, plastic, whatever you have around that's flexible, cardboard of different thicknesses. Get some cereal box cardboard and try it out, and then see how that affects the music output. What is the best material for making sound effects? Maker tape, you make life so easy.
Would it be better to have a curved, like an actual speaker shape, like a curved surface?
We don't know, because we are not that fancy. I don't think we took it that far, because that's the thing. You could try out so many different variations of this and say, hey, what makes the best sound output? Now, little warning here, if you're trying this in a classroom, we know for a fact, because we tested heavily, and that's another YouTube video that we would, had we thought about this ahead of time, put a link onto, but we didn't. On our YouTube page, we stress tested our Maker tape, both our 1/4 inch and our 1/8 inch version, seeing how much amperage this little guy can handle. And we found that there's a point with this. If you throw 2 amps plus on our 1/4 inch Maker tape, the tape gets warm, uncomfortably warm. And past that, it gets hot enough to not want to touch it. And it's due to imperfections in the nylon and the conductive material, you'll get hot spots. So if you're using an iPod or a phone or whatnot, it's not going to be an issue. There's not enough power coming out of there to affect it that way. However, using a stereo system like this, especially ones from the 90s, like modern ones, they put a lot of power out. And so you can easily get to the point on this where your paper or your plastic gets hot. And we had a point where we'd cranked up both the sound on the iPod itself to maximum, and then the sound on the speaker slowly up to maximum. And we ended up in a situation where one of our pieces of plastic started to melt on us. So if you're using a speaker, you need to be slightly careful, or stereo. You need to be slightly careful on that approach, because you can, in fact, melt something. Now,
it sounds like a great classroom activity, and find out how many watts it takes to to melt your.
I don't think, unfortunately, you can't really tell usually on these guys what their wattage output is.
Man.
But we did notice that. And again, I think most people, if you're doing this in a classroom or a school setting, and you're going to want to have, say, multiple groups doing this, just use a phone. I mean, that's the easiest thing to do. It also doesn't get super loud either. You can hear it, but it's not annoying to people nearby at a different table. Classroom management tip there.
Also, always make sure you have a fire extinguisher in your classroom, right? We've learned that more than once, haven't we?
Well, that's the thing, too, with our Maker tape. We actually did try to get it to start on fire, and you have to really, really, really work at it to make that happen.
Yeah.
It has to be very, very, very exact conditions to make that happen. And typically the tape, if you do get it to a certain hot point, especially with the 1/8 inch version, not the 1/4 inch like I'm using here, you'll get a hot spot and it will actually break itself.
Yeah.
So it acts like a fuse and breaks the circuit, which we thought was, very handy, especially the 1/8 inch.
Safety feature.
Yeah. And as we keep pointing out to people who are like, oh, is that dangerous for kids? I'm like, well, there should be basically, there's only very rare situations where anybody is going to be using that much power in a kid's project.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking LEDs and whatnot. I mean, you'd have to do a ton of LEDs in parallel to end up with a situation where you're hitting 1 amp. And our 1/4 inch tape handles up to about 2 amps just fine. You really have to, you'd have to be an adult to be doing that. It's a rough situation. Oh, this isn't as tough as I remember it being last time.
Practice.
I do a lot of right angle folds.
Right.
I've had some teachers tell me right angle folds are tough. I'm like, only if you don't practice.
Wow.
This is what I do at night, Pete. When I go home.
Plus, you're sober this time.
Wow. There could be children watching. Sober?
Hi, kids. Leave a comment.
Wow. This is why we can't use these videos.
I meant somber. Sorry.
Somber.
I said the word.
Wow. This is why I can't use these live streams at teaching conferences.
Well,
Actually, probably could.
Friends out there in internet land, if you want to leave a comment or a question or have any ideas about how we should use Maker tape or how you use it, just leave a comment for us, leave a question, etc. We'll appreciate it.
So this is only taking me a couple minutes to do.
Yeah, very quick.
It is. Again, if you want to do this with kids, you can do different amounts, like how many turns does it go? Now I'm to the point right here where I'm at the end of my conductive line and want to do my insulative line. So I'm going to cut my tape strip right here like that. And I'm going to just, to make life easy, just come straight out. So it's insulating tape, insulating tape, insulating tape below there, and just, I'm going to have this come out.
So, Josh, that's a paper template you've got there, right?
It is
I just want
paper!
to point out, we heard from our friend at Boston Press there.
Who makes fantastic
Yeah.
cards. They are fan-frickin-tastic.
Yeah, she says hello, so yeah.
Yay!
Awesome.
But here, there we go. We've made a speaker. This literally is, this is a speaker. It's
That's
a
a
coil of
speaker.
conductive material. It is not as nicely done as Andy, our curriculum writer, did on this one. He's a little more attentive to detail, but it should work just fine as a basic demo. I've got my insulating layer here, so it's not going to make contact across here. If I'm really worried, I put a piece of cardboard there or something else. And that's it. That literally is what you should be doing. And you're done. I've got my magnet here. I've got this. And I've got my big old microphone here, so I can bring this down in to get like a good sound. So we can do this. I've got my iPod here with my headphone jack output. And we're going to take a couple of alligator clips, which I used over here. And we're going to, I forget which ones are which. I think it's here.
Dip sleeve ring,
You say that, Pete.
because it's a TSR connector.
Oh.
Try the. Yeah,
We're gonna try two of them. There's 3 spots on here,
I
so
think it's those two. I think those are the
yeah.
two you want.
And then we've got these, and then I'm just going to alligator clip. It doesn't matter which one I clip.
Josh, I think you want those two because in a mono connector you wouldn't have that center one. So.
Now this is, by the way, this is a single speaker, so we'll be getting a mono sound output. We won't be getting left and right channels. If you wanted to use 2 speakers, build your own, you would take this spot here. There's a tip ring sleeve. You'd use that. You'd hook up 2 more alligator clips, one to the ground and then one to that middle spot. Or if you're using like a headphone jack to RCA, that makes things much easier.
It does.
Much easier, but clearly we didn't do that. So anyway, this should work just fine. Now I'm going to open up some wonderful royalty-free music, and we hope that YouTube and Facebook does not flag stuff, because we've had royalty-free music get flagged by Facebook before. So we're just going to do this. Ooh, Masala Madness. I'm going to crank this up, hit play, and we're going to just put this over the top of our
Stack of magnets. Do you need all those magnets, or how many magnets do you need?
I'm not sure.
All right, let's find out.
Now, here's the thing.
Did you press?
I can hear it very
Yes.
softly.
Yeah, you can.
When I touch it on here exactly, this is why using a bigger speaker for a demo or a stereo for a demo, because you can audibly hear it. I'm going to move my microphone all the way close down to it.
Okay.
I don't know if I can hear it or not. I'm going to try a different piece of music. Funk City. I don't know if anybody can hear that. I can hear it if I put my ear close to it. I can definitely hear it's working. I hope people believe me. Believe me, people.
We believe you. Yeah.
Believe in me, people. And now my microphone is all out of whack.
I brought the level up too, just in case maybe that would help. Pick
Yeah,
it
so
up.
we're going to now hook this up to the stereo to make it very obvious. Ugh.
Yeah.
This is why, watch the YouTube video. But no, this is why using like an iPod or something just doesn't work so well.
Josh, we're getting requests already. Look at this. Like I don't even.
Natasha, I'm not playing Electric Slide because I don't want to get things done. Thanks, Natasha.
right.
Clearly, New Jersey is boring if you're hanging out with us today, but
Also,
we appreciate it. We love hanging out.
She
with you.
believes that you heard it, Pear Blossom.
Yes. So we're gonna hook it up to the stereo because
All
it's
right,
much
yeah,
more
let's-
obvious when you
let's
hook it up to the
crank- let's,
stereo.
as they say, pump up
Pump up the jam.
the
Pump it
noise.
up. Pump it up.
Pump up the noise.
So I'm gonna take these and plug it into like the CD port of here. Sometimes there's an auxiliary port, whatever. If you had an RCA plug, it'd be a lot easier. Shoot, which one is ground? I don't think it matters.
It won't matter. Yeah, it shouldn't matter.
We're gonna find out, and we're gonna attach our these guys here to the speaker. Now it should be on CD already. It's set up on this guy.
Turned on, powered up.
Yes, I did that
We
before.
did all that before.
Uh,
You have the right selector.
should be, unless I'm going the opposite direction. Pete's gonna walk over there and look at it because it's facing away from me.
Volume 68 on CD.
Turn it up all the way. Yeah, it's on CD. No, I'm guessing my connector is not in the appropriate spot.
Some wires.
That's turned on, plugged in. Let's go back to the middle of the song. Should have those RCA plugs at home. Well, it should be making some good noise. We've got this. I wonder if these just are not making a good connection. I'm alligator clipping into a stereo here. Let's see if I can alligator clip in all the way.
I can go get a real speaker if you want.
Pete has a Giganto speaker that is very annoying sound-wise. Let's try one last thing here, because yeah, silly me for not bringing the appropriate plug in to work. No, that's my bad for that. But it should be making sound if you have a headphone jack to RCA plug. Works much, much better. But it totally does make sound. I promise you that.
Can you connect one to the outside? Is it?
I don't know if it's the outside or inside I'm supposed to be.
Well, you need both.
Oh,
One on the inside, one on the outside.
oh, that's probably why I don't have the right connector.
Try that.
Uh,
Do you need some wire
Here, we're gonna try one last thing. Yeah.
or a bolt?
We got. No, I can't get in that deep. Hey Pete, would you put that over the top there? Yeah, so this is embarrassing.
Wait, I have the right sound for that. Okay.
Yeah, I always thought I had an RCA plug around. But anyway, that's how you make a speaker that should actually work. As Josh,
We have a video of this.
we totally have a video on our YouTube page with this. This is how you make a speaker. You need magnets and this, and it does in fact work.
It does
Because we
work.
have videos of using this setup, quite a bit of it. Where we're testing out different ones. But yeah, I cannot find that RCA plugin.
Well, you know what, Josh?
What, Pete?
Today is what day is it? Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
You know what happens on Friday?
I have stir fry at my house, aptly named Stir
What time
Friday.
should I be there? No, we do our hangout.
It's
And
true.
I bet we could do a quick demo once you have the right cables.
You bring the cables from my house.
yeah, right.
Oh, good times.
Because I'll just do this one more time.
So, yeah,
There we
Pete's
go.
new sound effects.
Set
We'll try it
trouble.
again, but to show off how do you make this is literally how you make your own speaker.
Is there a template available for?
Oh yes,
for that?
templates and all the other fun stuff at browndoggadgets.com. You put it over here, and the closer you
Gotcha.
get up and down to make different sounds.
Yeah.
RCA cables. You're supposed to be here. But now, yeah, that's pretty much it. And it's not a tough project to do. You just need magnets, tape, a template, and an output source. This works. It's really, really, really quiet. So I would not recommend doing this as like a nice big demo, but if you're just doing one for a classroom, bring a little stereo system in, you're good. If you're doing a lot of kids and you can hear it a little bit, you hear like, oh yeah, I totally hear the music. That's good because classroom management of lots
Yeah.
of sounds. Is Natasha making fun of us now?
Well, we got this. She's had a light-up card fail. You know,
yeah.
You know, hey, the things don't always go 100%. And then
It's live video.
Natasha's got a.
Oh,
super
Natasha.
Fun. This was
Natasha
super
makes such fun stuff too. She makes
All right.
makes really good looking fun
Does,
stuff.
Definitely.
No, well, I'll bring the right cables. We'll be able to try again because it's you can hear it audibly hear it. It's pretty easy to pick up on the microphone from our
Right.
camera, which isn't a great microphone on our cameras, but I picked it up pretty well when we're doing this and in the YouTube video. Yeah, I should have We should like saved a copy of the YouTube video and throw it throw it up here. Here's what it should look like. Yeah, it's
We
too
can
late
link
now.
to it in the,
We'll link to it.
in the thing.
But the maker
All right.
tape makes it way easier than using copper foil, which is always the Achilles heel of
Yeah,
this
that's
project.
not good.
Otherwise, and trying to tape down wire just seems really silly.
Yeah.
And this is quick and easy. So that's it. We're gonna stop
right.
now, and I'm gonna go do paperwork
Back
because
here.
yay,
All right.
maker tape, Brown Dog Gadgets Live. We'll come back and show this working appropriately on Friday.
You know what? Our success rate has been pretty good so far. So,
Yeah,
I
we've
mean,
only
it's-
really I think Helen, when she was on, she had some issues because she was using different parts than
Right.
she originally used.
Yes.
She was trying to use our parts
Yeah.
with the project as opposed to the parts she usually uses, and our parts aren't what she needed.
Right.
So she had some issues with that. I think that was the only time we've had issues.
Yeah.
But in general, they're projects. They're projects for children.
That's right. And people should know about all these things.
Yay, browndoggadgets.com. So speakers, and I'm sure like half of you are people who like us anyway. So like Natasha, who likes us for some reason. Thanks, Natasha.
Thank you.
But anywho, thanks for watching. We'll be here tomorrow with Kitty Young. She's gonna be calling in and showing us some kind of fun stuff. She has really cool over the top maker fashion projects, like really nice high end stuff. And she's a pretty cool person and maker. So she'll be on tomorrow at 3:15 Central Time, our time, Central Time Zone. That's where all the cool kids are in the Central Time Zone.
That's right.
Take that, Mountain.
CDT.
Yeah, Mountain is for lame people in Colorado.
Okay.
Mountain.
All right.
I guess in Rapid City, South Dakota, nobody wants to go
Oh,
there.
no.
I've been there. It's nice, somewhat nice. Anyway, but
right.
we're gonna have Kitty on, and we're gonna do some show off some fun stuff on Friday. Pete over here has made a really, really cool paper / acrylic / other fun thing we're gonna show up on Friday.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna tell anybody about that now,
No.
so you have to come and check it out.
Right.
It is really cool.
Excellent.
As Pete always brings in random cool things from his basement that he made that we're gonna make into a nice project template and everything. But
Yeah.
anywho, we're gonna end this horrible not working
Oh,
speaker
come
thing.
on.
It works. It just the iPod's just not enough. Unfortunately, the
all
built-in
right.
amplifier verse. Like I imagine this is probably.
We'll
probably
put a
200
link in the
is.
show notes.
Yeah, we
as they
will.
always say.
We will put a link in
That's
the show
what they
notes.
say on the podcast.
We'll do it live. Anyway, thanks
would you like
everybody.
some
We're
end
gonna
credits?
End credits indeed. Bye.
All
Thanks.
right. Bye, everyone.
Adios.
Thanks for watching. Please visit browndoggadgets.com for parts, projects, and curriculum. Follow us on social media at browndoggadgets. Check out our live streams at Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We'll see you next time.